are we, ladies? We are the Tigers. When your feet hit the ground, you should be running. You're in the hunt for your next great championship. Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Coach Dee Bro. Brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee.
Welcome to another edition of Inside LSU Gymnastics. Tonight we come to you from the Faculty Club on the LSU campus in Baton Rouge after a successful night of gymnastics inside the Maravich Center, the first in a month for the LSU Tigers. Tonight, the Tigers of LSU put on a 196-875 score against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And joining me here to start the show tonight is LSU assistant coach Bob Moore. And Bob, on the vault tonight in our first rotation, it was magic.
Yeah, well, it was a good score. It was a great effort. It was a little befuddled at a couple of scores, but I was pleased to see that they did progress and get better.
Well, you start tonight and you go with some experience right off the bat with Kaylee Dixon, who absolutely nails her first vault.
Yes, it was great. I was so proud of Kaylee. She had a few problems in the warm-up. She really concentrated on a couple of things like straight arms, open shoulders, thinking about snapping up into the vault, you know, and really nailed a nice vault, but just didn't get rewarded for it.
Jessie Jordan was next in the lineup tonight, and of course the sophomore from Manville, Texas, goes 9-8 tonight, and a bit of a hop on the landing.
Right. Jessie had a little meltdown earlier in the year, and she has fought back through that meltdown from last week to this week, and I'm very proud of what she's doing.
Well, and then Jessica Savona, the freshman from Canada, a member of the Canadian Olympic team that went to London this past summer, was third in the lineup tonight, and also another 9-8.
Right, and Mighty Mouse is so quick that sometimes it's not good for her. And, you know, and I'm trying to settle her down to where she will be able to get her chest up before she starts to twist. Well, tonight, as soon as she came off the horse, she was already starting to twist, and that's what forced the step.
Molia Mathis fourth in the lineup, the junior from San Antonio, Texas tonight, 9.825, good enough for third in the vault this evening, and she really seemed to fly through the air.
Yes, she did. She was pretty in the air. We work a lot on shaping. We work a lot on presentation. You know, if we can just make the landings, you know, we're going to be a 49-6 or 7.
Well, and then of course you round out the lineup tonight, moving Reagan Corville up to the 5th spot because you welcome back to the lineup tonight for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Sari Morrison is your anchor.
Oh, it was great to have Sari back, and it was very calming on me knowing I had two huge vaulters at the end of the lineup. I just felt like these guys, if it could be done, they were going to do it. And Reagan laid the way, man. It was a nice vault, one of her better landings. And then when Sari got up there, we've got this little communication thing that, you know, I'm telling her what I want it to feel like. Sometimes I'm not good with words, but I'm good with sounds and caricatures and sometimes dumb jokes. And, you know, and I'm telling her I want it to feel like that. And so she looks at me down at the end of the runway and she goes, and I go, bingo.
And then what happened after that was pure magic,
yeah.
Bob. She takes off down the 80-foot runway, flies through the air, and absolutely just sticks the landing.
It was beautiful.
And was rewarded with her very first perfect 10 of her career.
It was beautiful, and, you know, I felt like I had a baby. I was so excited. Not for me, it's for her. You know what I mean? As a coach, we want the kids to be rewarded. You know, it's not about recognition for us, it's the hard work and the dedication and the love they put into the sport.
And even more so for Sari because of the adversity that she's fought through, having had 3 surgeries in the last 18 months or so.
Right, exactly.
And for her to come back and stick the vault was truly an outstanding turn of events to get the Tigers started. 49-4, Bob, on the vault tonight, and the crowd really got into it in the first rotation.
Well, I was really excited, and I'm just grateful that we had such a great crowd tonight.
Well, kudos to you, Bob. And, you know, Sari Morrison, as we said, has fought through a lot of adversity in her career here at LSU, but the junior from Dallas, Texas, has stood tall so far in the season, winning 6 out of the 7 meet titles so far on either uneven bars or vault. She's absolutely on fire. We had a chance to catch up with her and hear from her after the meet.
I'm so excited, just overwhelmed with joy, and it was just so awesome to be able to share this experience tonight with my team and everyone here at the PMAC. It's so exciting. Yeah, we haven't been here in a month, so it was so exciting to get back out here on our home turf and draw our fans in with us. So yeah, I think that we can, from here on out, get a 197 at each meet. And so I'm really looking forward to next weekend going to Auburn and busting out another 197.
So after the first rotation, the Tigers are 49-4 and have a healthy lead against the Arkansas Razorbacks. And then we go to the uneven bars where the momentum just kept right on rolling. Joining me now is associate head coach and the man in charge of the uneven bars at LSU, and that's Jay Clark. And Jay, you had so much momentum after vault. Well, and right off the bat, Lomencia Hall, who found herself in the leadoff spot tonight in the lineup, ties her career high with a 9.85, and it was a very nice effort.
It was, and Lomencia is learning how to swing to a handstand and be a little more gentle and a little softer with her swing, and it's tough for her. She's really had to work hard at it. I'm really proud of the way she's worked hard. She's continued to take the input that we're giving her and improves on it, so, you know, it was a great start for her. She had never gone first, and she made sure I knew that before she went. But I was quite proud of the way she settled in and just really did a nice routine.
So Mency sets the table for Brittany Ramsey in the number 2 spot, and that's a new addition to the lineup over the last couple of weeks. So you put her in at the number 2 spot, and looking back on the record books to her year, even before she transferred to LSU, never scored as high as she did tonight.
Well, and that's, if we can get that dismount straightened out, that's going to be the key to her getting even higher. That's the routine that can go 9.9 for us very easily because the execution throughout the routine, the body of the routine is so good. The dismount is new for her. It's not something that she's ever competed until last week, and it was exponentially better than it was last week. So if we continue to progress the way we are, Brittany Ramsey's going to be a real mainstay for us early in the lineup.
And what can you say about Kaylee Dixon, who just continues to fight as an all-arounder and on the uneven bars as well, which she had struggled with throughout her career?
She has, Mike, and there's not a whole lot you can say. I'm just really proud of the way she's gone about her business. As an upperclassman, really worked very hard. She sprained her thumb actually in bar warm-ups. She missed her hand on the hop change, but you never heard her complain. She never once. There was never any question that she was going to go in and get that job done, and continues to do what she's doing. And so I think she's sort of solidified herself in that middle spot.
Well, she goes 9.875 tonight, just a quarter-tenth off of her own season high. And then, of course, you really start to round out into the heart of the bars lineup. You move Reagan Corville into the 4 spot, Randy Wyrick at 5.
Well, we like that 4-5 combination. We think Reagan's bar routine is a score that will hold if Reagan executes the way we see her execute in the gym. On any given day, that's a routine that we know can go 9.9 or better. Just because of the way she executes. It's very light. It's an easy routine for her to do.
Well, and Randy Wyrick, I believe, just has the most beautiful lines on the uneven bars of any of our gymnasts. She is really, really coming around.
She does, but along with some of the others tonight, those last handstands were not what we've been seeing in the gym, and that was the one disappointment that I had on the event, was that they were tentative, and there's no reason for that. The great teams have got to get past that, and we're getting past it in the gym, but we're to a place now where we've got to see that execution transfer over into competition, and we're close. And you don't want to harp on the negative on a night when they overall did very well, but at the same time, they've got to continue to mature and get more aggressive.
Well, and you always wonder what a gymnast is going to do after coming off such a great high on vault like Sari Morrison when she did get her first perfect 10 of her career. She comes back on the uneven bars tonight, Jay, and she was absolutely steady as a rock.
She really was. She was another one though that last handstand was short. She had a great routine, really flawless. I didn't see a single deduction until we got to the last handstand, and then not quite controlling the landing the way that she can, but. Sari has been that steady person, and that's why she's in that anchor spot. Sari is Sari, and that's really what I tell her. You ever wonder what I say when I walk up to her? I say, just be Sari. And when she does that, she's usually in pretty good shape.
Well, she was 9.9 tonight on the uneven bars and sweeps the two titles of the 2 events that she's in, and certainly will probably be in line for SEC Specialist of the Week once again when that comes out later in the week. We have great sponsors here on Inside LSU Gymnastics. Let's thank a few of them right now. Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro has been brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee, the LSU Tiger Spotters, Wow Cafe American Grill and Wingery, Flying Tigers Gymnastics Camp, PJ's Coffee, and Glenn Armentor Pay It Forward Scholarship Program of Excellence.
Tiger fans, join LSU Gymnastics coach Dede Bro and former LSU football All-American Brady James for 2 special events. Catch Tailgate for the Fight March 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. inside the LSU Tiger Stadium Club, a night of food, fun, and spirited auction bidding. Admission is $56. Also join us March 8th at 7 p.m. as we host the 6th annual Etta James Memorial Meet as LSU will take on rival Alabama. Tickets just $1. And don't forget, wear pink. For info, email promotions@lsu.edu.
Taste that brew, mellow and apple pie. Walk on in, see a few friends. Where you at, what now?
Yeah, got to get up early in the morning, man. You know, I gotta have my coffee. So I'm gonna run on down to PJ's. You gotta have it. It's early in the morning.
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Who are we?
We are Tigers!
Inside LSU Gymnastics with Coach Dede Bro.
I love competing at home. You know, we have all the energy and the crowd gets really into it. You know, I got my teammates to back me up. It's just an overwhelming feeling. You know, I love coming out and competing for all the fans.
We're back on Inside LSU Gymnastics, coming to you tonight from the club at Union Square, formerly known as the Faculty Club here on the LSU campus in Baton Rouge, and it was another great night of the gymnastics inside the Maravich Center. The Tigers back home again, and head coach Dede Bro joins me now. And Dede, it really was really great to be home tonight in the Maravich Center.
It was good to be home, and we had a fabulous crowd, and I think our fans were appreciative of the fact that we were back home.
We move into the balance beam. You're at 98.725, thereabouts at the halfway point of tonight's meet. You get the team together in the huddle before the balance beam tonight. What are you talking about inside that huddle?
Mike, it's the same message. You know, we really harp on focusing and feeling. You want to see with your eyes, but feel with your center. I felt like we went to beam and had a little bit of momentum. First 2 people, Erica Garcia, you can't ask your first person to do more than she did tonight. I felt like she performed at her peak and then took a little step on her dismount, but her series, her leap combination, her second D salto, everything, and you know, that's a pretty difficult routine. And from start to finish, it was exactly what you want your first person to do.
So Erica with a 9.75 in front of the home crowd tonight, and then you start to really feel like with Kaylee Dixon, who steps up and goes 9.825, that things were headed right down the balance beam.
Here we go again with Mincy. She put a little bit of pressure on herself when we had the fall in front of her, and all of a sudden she does a pretty nice routine and then takes a big step on the dismount, doesn't control the landing, but still she stayed on, and at that point we've got our next 2 really stellar beam people coming up. Reagan goes and does a good job, not great. We made a few changes this week, so she was a little bit tentative going into her last tumbling pass on beam, into her dismount, and I think that was probably the big deduction. But her Arabian was very nice, and of course her back layout is as beautiful as anybody does it in the country. But you know, I mean, it was a good score, and certainly we would, you know, take that on most nights.
Sure.
And then Jessie Jordan went up and just did not do what she usually does. I think she internalized the breaks. She did not compete on bars tonight, and maybe came to beam a little bit cold. You know, who knows? But you can't do that if you're going to compete at the level that this team's capable of competing.
Credit to Brittany Taylor tonight, who comes in as an exhibition gymnast and turns in a very nice routine.
Well, and you know, sometimes you take an exhibition gymnast, and when your event's not going real well, you pull them out and just say, let's just go to the next event. But I really wanted to see how she would handle the pressure. She did a great job, so she may wake up Sunday and find herself in my beam lineup. She did a really nice job. She was very composed, had a lot of confidence, and you know, I was very proud of her.
And we have a very special young lady who I know is very close and dear to you, who's acting in a very important role in our team, and that's Sarah Pollock, your daughter.
Well, she's filling that spot of that ops person that pretty much does anything and everything that you need them to do, and she is, you know, has done a lot of leadership things with our team and has really gotten deep and down and kind of in the kids' heads about how they're thinking and what they're doing as far as their relationships with each other. And she, you know, she played soccer at LSU, and then she spent a couple of years in DC, and She's working on her master's in public administration. So I think that when she speaks with authority.
And a very special thing happened to her tonight in the Maravich Center. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what Sarah Pollock means to this LSU gymnastics program.
I wear a few hats. Those are my roles. I'm big into high energy. I also work with the team on team bonding. I've been working with them on that since August, since they got here. I learned a lot about being a teammate and just a college athlete from growing up in the gym. And instead of just letting it happen, we're actually putting an emphasis in practicing being good teammates and being good to one another. And instead of just letting that kind of cultivate on its own, we're helping it become something and treating it as important as it should be treated. This team's really, I think they're grasping it and they want it, and they're learning how to divide and conquer as one.
And she's been a great motivator. She has great energy, and it spreads throughout the team, and it's awesome.
Well, Sarah's got a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and she just has a real knack for it. She really relates to the kids. The kids like her a lot. She's got a great sense of humor, and she brings things to the level that they enjoy it, and they want to be a part of what she's trying to create.
My mom is my role model, and so getting to work with her and under her, and for us to have conversations regarding the team and certain things on a professional level it's a dream come true. It's an honor to be getting to work with her and learn from her, and she will always remind the girls that nothing can ever be accomplished without enthusiasm. And that's one thing that I get up every morning, and that's something that it's become a part of my mantra as well. And to be able to do that with her, it's an experience that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
For years, we've maintained our track record of success for those hurt while giving back to the community. Doing what's right has its rewards, and we're honored to be called the best by you. Earlier this year, a jury of tens of thousands of people, many of you, considered the facts, the evidence, and made a just decision of which law firm is the best. The verdict is in. For the 5th year in a row, thank you.
Wow.
The WOW Performance of the Week, brought to you by WOW Cafe. It's got to be Sarah Morrison. What an incredible vault, a 10-0.
I love you with all my heart. You're my best friend. Will you marry me?
So Sarah Pollock getting engaged to Bobby Dixon of Tampa, Florida. You might recognize the last name. He is the older brother of LSU's Kaylee Dixon. Back at the task at hand tonight, we come out of a balance beam, Dee, that by all admission was not what we were looking for tonight. But then you go to the floor exercise, and when the pedal needed to be pressed to the floor, the Tigers responded.
Well, I think they acted like the #1 floor team in the country, and they knew that there was pressure on them. They really put together a great performance. Jessie Jordan went up first, and we've been really pushing Jessie to improve her tumbling and be a little more committed to her landings, and she did a good job tonight. Her presentation, her performance was very, very good.
Yeah, and she did it in fine fashion, because Jessica Savona responded after falling on the balance beam tonight. She responds with a 9-9 on floor.
You know, Jessica Savona is a tremendous athlete. She's a great competitor. We've not seen her best. We've not seen her put together, 3 or 4 great events. Jay's got some good stuff going with her on bars, but her floor routine was very good.
Malia Mathis tonight, wow.
Yeah, I think that Malia was underscored a little bit. I think her performance was better than the score indicated. Maybe waiting too long in the corners was costly for her, but when you tumble the level of difficulty that she does, she opened with a beautiful double layout. Her middle pass was very nice. That double pike at the end of that routine was about as good as it gets.
Absolutely was. And then you start to round out to the last two performers in your lineup that have become sort of the mainstays there, Reagan Corville and Lomencia Hall. Tonight, Reagan maybe not quite as sharp as we've seen, but the 9.875 was plenty enough for her to win the all-around title tonight.
Well, it opened with a double Arabian. It was very, very nice, and she performed. I thought her level of performance, her presentation was very nice.
Well, and the 9.875 allows her to go 39.525 in front of the home crowd at the Maravich Center tonight. Another all-around title for Reagan Corville. But of course, Lomencia Hall, the gymnast that people pay to see, as we've come to say, being the anchor on the floor tonight, did not disappoint. 9.95, and it was every bit as good as what we saw last week when she went 10-0.
Yeah, well, you know, Mike, I would like to see her with a little more 2-foot landings. Tonight I felt like she rushed to the lunge. And she lands on those 4-inch mats, and so she really has to be careful when she comes out of that so she doesn't trip. But her presentation, she's beginning to really get comfortable with this routine and with what she's doing, and it's coming natural.
Well, and the 9.95 allows the Tigers to final score tonight at 196.875, and the home crowd was absolutely delighted. The 6th largest crowd, right at 5,000 tonight in the Maravich Center. We'll be right back from the club at Union Square after this timeout on Inside LSU Gymnastics.
Students everywhere agree LSU is a phenomenal choice. Experience the campus where passion becomes genius. Now, only at LSU.
Tiger fans, join LSU Gymnastics coach Dee Bro and former LSU football All-American Brady James for 2 special events. Catch Tailgate for the Fight March 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. inside the LSU Tiger Stadium Club. A night of food, fun, and spirited auction bidding. Admission is $56. Also join us March 8th at 7 p.m. as we host the 6th annual Etta James Memorial Meet as LSU will take on rival Alabama. Tickets just $1. And don't forget, wear pink. For info, email promotions@lsu.edu.
It was another great night of gymnastics in the Maravich Center, and Dee, it seemed like that the crowd fed off of the gymnast and the gymnast fed off of the crowd, and it ended up being a perfect storm, and the Tigers came that close to a 197.
Well, it was momentum, and you want to keep that going. It gives you something to work on next week, and we're certainly looking forward to each meet, each performance getting better.
We have a new sponsor on the program this week, and we have a new feature that this sponsor is helping us bring, and we're going to call it the Stick of the Week, and it's brought to you by Premier Office Products, and our inaugural Stick of the Week has got to belong to Malia Mathis.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this double pike at the end of that floor routine, 2-point landing. It doesn't get better than that.
And that's our Stick of the Week, brought to you by Premier Office Products. Now, Dee, back on the road. It doesn't get any easier as we stay in Southeastern Conference action and travel about 7 hours down the highway to Auburn and take on the Tigers in the Auburn Arena next Friday night at 7. And it's a much improved Auburn squad.
It's a very, very good Auburn team. And let me tell you, if you go to sleep, they'll beat you. They've got the potential to be very, very good, especially at home. It's going to be a great crowd. Lots of students come. It's extremely rowdy. So we're going to have to do our best to beat them.
Well, and you can catch all of the action live in the Go Zone on LSUsports.net. The best way to get there, www.lsusports.net/live. And it will take you right to our broadcast that will start at 6:55 live in the Go Zone, and free of charge too, as always. So for everybody involved in tonight's broadcast, for Assistant Coach Bob Moore, Associate Head Coach Jay Clark, and for Head Coach Dee Bro, I'm Mike Smith saying thank you for joining us on Inside LSU Gymnastics. We'll see you next week. Inside LSU Gymnastics with Dee Bro has been brought to you by New Orleans Roast Coffee, the LSU Tiger Spotters, Wow Cafe American Grill and Wingery, Flying Tigers Gymnastics Camp, PJ's Coffee, and Glenn Armentor Pay It Forward Scholarship Program of Excellence.